right, well, we are a little past the appointed time. People are still trickling in, so we're going to go ahead and get things going here. Again, good morning, or I guess it's afternoon. I got to get used to that. Afternoon, everybody. Mike Anderson here along with Aaron Cassover, Jonas Roser, Travis McQueen, and Wes LaFave, the Connected Agent team. We got a lot of good content for you again today, as always is the case. A couple of laundry things, I guess you want to call them that. The next Connected Agent user group call will be on September 10th, as always, the second Wednesday of the month. We will be at our new bat time of 1:30 p.m. Pacific. We'll be staying with that going forward due to schedule constraints that we have to work with. So, and with that said, as we always do, I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to Aaron. He will pick it up here after we spend a minute going over some agenda things, checking in, etc. And again, we are recording, so we are on mute. If you have questions, shoot them over. Be sure and hit the 2-digit PIN code so we can unmute you at the end. So, checking in with everybody. We want to make sure nobody's having any problems, anything like that. So if you are, give us a quick hand raise. We can address that along the way, and then Aaron will pick us up here with some of the things that we want to focus on today, concentrating on ways to use your site after the sale. So I'm not getting any question flashes. I'm not getting any hands up, so I'm going to presume that means we're good. Aaron, people are still trickling in, but we're going to go ahead and move forward. So take it away.
Okay. Sounds good. Hey, am I coming through okay?
Yeah, you're solid. Very good.
Okay, good. So what we're going to talk about today is positioning your website after the sale. And we think a lot about websites as a way to generate new leads, new prospects, to generate interest with new customers. There's this whole other world of how to use your website that is perhaps equally important, or even a place where you can see more success, which is using your website to grow your business after you get that application in hand. And these are all things that you already know. You already do this in the offline world, but once you have an application from a prospect, your work is not done. And in fact, you have three things you really need to do, and the first of which is to increase the take rate of approved apps. You need to make sure that there isn't buyer's remorse, that people don't change their mind while the app is processing. They don't get scared or talked out of buying the product from you, that somebody else doesn't come in there and steal the sale. You're still vulnerable when an app is processing, and you need to make sure that the customer approves and accepts the app once it gets approved by underwriting. The second is, as you know, you want to use this new relationship as a chance to cross-sell other products. People need all kinds of insurance, and so once you get that first buy-in from a customer, the door is open to cross-sell, and you want to use your website to help you do this. And the third, of course, is to gather referrals from the customer. Now that somebody has shown they see the importance in the product that you're selling, they've shown that they trust you as the person to buy from, it's a great opportunity for you to get them to introduce you to their friends, their family, people in their community, people they work with, their colleagues, who might be good prospects for you as well, and to have them make that really critical, warm introduction to new business for you. And so these are the three things that you already have to do after you get that application in hand. And so what I want to talk about today is ways that you can position your website to help you achieve these three objectives. And there's some really kind of cool things you can do that will help increase the take rate, it will help improve cross-selling, and help you get more referrals. The strategy is basically this, that once you have an application in hand, you want to execute on a strategically drive your customers to specific content. You want to use contact, email, social media, point them to the relevant contact on your site that's going to help them feel comfortable with the application that they've just submitted to you and the product that they're purchasing from you, to become aware of what else you have to offer them and why they might need it, and to guide the process of introducing you to their friends, family, and colleagues. And the primary way that we'll do this is through email, outreach via email that drives people back to your website. And so we have a couple different types of email that you can send out. The first one, if you remember back to September of last year, we talked about creating a local resources page in your site where you link out to, it might be realtors, it might be lawn care people, it might be a mechanic, it might be a handyman, people in your community that you recommend, that you endorse, that you know and trust. We talked about creating that page in your site, which is great for a lot of reasons. But one reason is it's a resource that you can share to your new customers to show additional value in being related to you. The second is in June of this year, we talked about integrating a document library of support resources on your site. So this might be things like carrier contact links. It might be links to product brochures. It might be links to product management. Maybe it's a change of address form or a change of beneficiary form. Putting these documents on your site. And then what you can do is once somebody submits an application to you, send them an email directing them to these resources. And what that's going to do is show them that you weren't there just to make a buck off them. You weren't there just to make a sale, and that this is a way to help them long term. And that's going to make them feel better about buying from you as opposed to somebody else. And it's also going to keep them coming back to you, gaining trust in you, and ultimately learning about other things that you can offer from them. And so as soon as you have that application in hand, you should have an email that's pre-written that you can send out that directs people back to these pages on your website. So that's number one. Here's an example. This is from that June webinar, the June users group, where we talked about integrating in a box.net contact form or form widget. In this case, LifeWise, it's a health carrier in Washington State. This is an example of putting some support documents on a website that customers can go to and get. So this is what it might look like. The second is to put together an email follow-up to educate them on other products. And because your website is with our platform, you have access to all this educational content, all of these guides that people can download. You have the blog posts. And what you want to do is go through your website and find a series of pages, maybe it's sequentially, that you want people to see. And once they become a customer, integrate in an email plan where it might be every 2 weeks, you direct them to the next thing on your site so that they're constantly kind of learning and educating themselves on how you can help them, other products you have to offer, and also just kind of more of the general support content that you can provide. And so put together an email follow-up that walks people through your site, not all at once, but over a series of steps. And then this email, and we'll put this text onto the LinkedIn group after the call today. But this is do you have a question email that we have. And this is a great way after the sale, at really any point. It can be a month after, it can be 3 years after, to reach out to people, and really just kind of generally let them know that you're there for them before, during, and long after they purchase your policy from you, and reinforce your expertise, and then really simply say, have you been meaning to ask a question? And what you're doing here is sort of volunteering yourself as their support resource with insurance needs. Now, not everybody's going to need this, but in your list of contacts, in your list of past business, it might be somebody that you sold a product to a year ago or 5 years ago, there are going to be people who have questions. And the questions might be about a product feature. Does it cover something? It might be about a rate. They want to compare a rate. It might be about a new product they're looking at. It might be about something they're just kind of wondering about insurance. But this will open the door to a surprising percentage of your contacts who will reach out to you and say, I do have a question. I've heard about final expense. Is this something that I should be purchasing? And it's going to create these cross-selling opportunities in places that you never even thought of looking. And so we'll post this email to the LinkedIn group, and I recommend that you take it and change the parts that are in brackets here, of course, to your name, a link to your website, and then send it out to every single person you know, every email address that you have, every customer you've ever talked to, because it's going to shake up some interests and questions and opportunities that will lead to additional sales. Of course, after the sale, you want to make sure you're connected with your customers on social media. We talked a lot about the importance of dripping on people gently through social media, and you have the blog on your website to help do that. There's of course the three: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. If you're going to do one, connect with them on LinkedIn, because that's sort of the professional place. That's the place to do business. And what that's going to do is once they buy from you, sort of at the point they've bought from you, they are most likely at that point to accept an invitation to connect on social media. They've been talking to you, they remember you, they're familiar with you, they trust you, they're maybe even excited about buying the product they've just purchased from you. And so this is the best time for you to introduce yourself on social media to them. And then once you have that connection, you can use it to reach out to them over and over and over again over time. That will keep you in their mind, keep that positive feeling they have towards you, and it can lead to them asking for additional quotes. It can lead to them passing information to their friends, colleagues, and family. But it keeps that relationship alive, and it keeps it going. And finally, follow up once the application is in hand with a referral email offering to share resources, guides, or content with friends and family, and to help them understand the products as well. This example that we have here is for long-term care, and long-term care really does affect more than just the policyholder. It affects family and friends who might be in the role of a caregiver, and so encouraging your new customer to have a conversation with those people about the plans they're putting in place is just a smart thing to have them do in general, but it also then opens up their awareness of long-term care and creates opportunities for referrals for you. And so you can assist in this product first by telling your customer they need to do this, giving them content to help them have this conversation. So in this case, you're offering up the long-term care guide on your website and a link to it. And then finally, opening up the door to have a conversation where you can help explain to their friends and family what long-term care insurance does do, how it works, and why they might need it. And so this is a great way to go out immediately after you get that application in hand and help that customer generate referrals for you. So these are a few ideas to keep in mind. As I mentioned before, we think so much about our website as being a way to generate new business, to be sort of the very top of the funnel. But there's some really important things that you can do that have really a much higher certainty than lead generation does to help you increase your sales, and that's after these sales strategies. So go on to LinkedIn, grab these 2 sample emails we've got, think about what your cross-sell path is going to be, what products and content you want to introduce new customers to, and then go and spend an afternoon and write the 3 or 5 emails that need to go out so that you have them ready to go, and then send them out automatically once you get these new applications in hand. So that's what I've got about using your website after the sale. I think at this point, Jonas, I'm going to pass it over to you, and maybe you can lead us through some open discussions.
Okay, great. Am I coming in loud and clear?
Yes, you are.
Good. Very good.
Okay, great. So we're in the open form area, and I'd like to ask first a few things here and then follow up with a few others. Is there any success stories that anyone on the call can fill us in with so far with using the Connected Agent platform specifically to maybe you were pre-doing some things that Aaron's already talked about, or have some other ideas for the group that's on the call?
If you got anything you want to talk about, folks, raise your hand.
No hands?
No hands. Mr. Olson, who's usually pretty good as far as having information available for us in this format here, isn't with us today. He had a schedule conflict, I know.
Okay.
So we've got him. So go ahead, Jonathan.
You just told me to go ahead, correct?
Yes, I did. Go ahead.
Okay, I thought you said John. Well, I'm going to ask a couple more questions, and if we don't get any hands raised or people have anything to comment regarding how certain things are going, I thought I would add a little more, just a different direction towards what Aaron was talking about to give you guys some more ideas and some things to do until our next call. But we didn't have any success stories that got bubbled up, so I'm just going to come straight out with it. Or does anyone want to share with us how things are going with utilizing the platform, positioning their website, with creating their brand? Is it helping with sales in any way? Is it pushed a lead forward? Anything you'd like to share?
Well, there is a question that kind of fits in this area, Jonas, while we're waiting for anybody to pop up, which was, how can, this came from somebody that was actually at the SAS meeting yesterday.
Okay.
The question is, how can you get the 3 and 4 information onto their website, the individual agent? How can they do that and optimize the 3 and 4 need more association usage?
Well, I need to be sending that person some money. I like that person. Now that I think just having Aaron hear that, I believe that we do offer the guide. Obviously, I have no problem with it being there, but I believe it is in the library. What I think would be a great place is, I'm a big believer in the 3 and 4 guide, as well as the LTCI and the CI guide that AIM has out as well. And I like having them positioned up in the rotators of the website. There's a few people that I know. Aaron's worked with numerous people. A couple of people we worked with together where we positioned a great 3D image of the guide up there. It was first and foremost when someone went on the page and showcased that they were able to get educational content from the site and position that content right in front of them so they didn't have to go multiple pages deep. I know the AIM team can help position that up in the rotator for you, and we'd be happy to I'll just double check with Aaron when we're off the call to make sure that he has the latest and greatest 3 and 4 guide.
Outstanding. All right, final question there on this area. We asked about challenges, really didn't get anything there. What do you folks want us to help you learn? All right, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody so we won't have to go with a show of hands. So jump in as we get everybody unmuted and tell us what we can do to help you make more out of your website. And again, as always, please be kind with regard to this unmuting process. If you've got background noise or a cell phone that you're going to answer if it rings, something like that, then please go ahead and hit *6 and individually mute yourself. All right, everybody who's eligible to be unmuted has been unmuted. So what can we do? What can we teach you? What can the team teach you to help you make more of these websites? Jump in with ideas. Hirschman, I know you're out there, so I'm going to call on you. You're unmuted, or you should be unmuted. So what can we do to help you make more out of this opportunity? You've been sort of steadfastly plugging away out there. See if we can get her unmuted and get her on the call. Not getting anywhere with that. Okay. All right, we'll skip over that.
You know, Mike, I have a couple things I could throw out there.
Jump in. Jump in.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say is, idea of what Aaron is pushing forward is great. You know, figuring out how to position your website after the sale, and so he gave you a lot of great ideas there. Sometimes there's other ways to position your website prior to the sale, and a way to do that is just positioning yourself. You got to remember, your website is your online brand for yourself. And so sometimes to get people to come to it takes more than just handing it out. So obviously you want the low-hanging fruit of having it on your letterhead and your business card. Who knows where else you're going to put it. But if you're able to contribute yourself as a contributor, they usually then list your website. So pretty sure everyone on this call has a fair, deep knowledge of the product that you're selling, would consider yourself a local specialist. Start reaching out to your strategic partners. Start working with local the Alzheimer Group and other places like that where you're able to position yourself as a specialist, because then they'll start asking you, hey, can you write a paragraph on this? And then they'll list your website there, which will then create another source of traffic going to it, which then could create a lead and then could follow up with, following up with what Aaron was doing after the sale. There's lots of ways to just keep recycling the content that's out there and keep repositioning yourself. Pretty soon you'll get to a certain mass, and the idea is it'll be like a wet snowball going down a hill, and you'll start picking up steam with more and more traffic going to it every single day.
The question here about driving more business to the website, setting up a landing page. I think we've got most of that already handled, but I'll let you guys tackle that one.
Sure, I can jump in on the landing page. And it really depends on what the landing page is for. But you can create a page on your site, and you can even give it a shortcut URL so that it's easy to get to. And what I recommend you do for a landing page is use a combination of text and then a form that people can fill out to respond to whatever it is you're driving them for. So if it's to get a quick fix, to get a guide, to putting a form on there to register to get that resource, and then you can create the page and the relevant section, or even just hide it from your site's navigation, and then make it available as a shortcut URL. We can help you kind of walk through how to do these steps, and it really depends on kind of what the campaign you can do landing pages for, but the tools are definitely there to create landing pages on your website.
Great. That's good. Any other questions out there?
And once you have those landing pages created, those are great things to use individually as well. It's great to have your website address bold in blue on a business card, something like that. But if you're talking about a specific product and you happen to have a landing page for it, you want to then reference that landing page, that link, that extended link in that article, so it'll drive right to that part of the website where they can either download the content or read exactly what you're talking about. So take note into that as well. They're also great things to cut and paste into social media where it's not too overly intrusive to be putting that kind of content out where people do realize you are going to come back because they left their information in there.
Good. Very good. Okay, we do have there's a question with regard to the link address for previous recorded Connected Agent calls. Those are all on the site, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Travis? ConnectedAgent.biz?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep, they are. There is one that is not on there, I believe is July, but everything else, yeah.
Okay, so you can find those on our website. Again, and we've got a lot of those resources there if you want to catch up. Aaron was referring to a September call, et cetera. ConnectedAgent.biz is your protected resource, if you will. Other agents can't get to it unless they're part of the program, where you can go and get access to that sort of thing, including previously recorded webinars. Anything else out there? We're starting to get some people rolling. It must be the later in the day thing. The caffeine is kicked in.
Hey, Mike?
Yes.
They're not going to be able to find them through ConnectedAgent.biz. We have them posted on the LinkedIn group, so I don't believe they're actually on ConnectedAgent.biz anywhere. Are they, Travis?
I know they're on our YouTube channel for Connected Agent. Other than that, I know you've been posting on LinkedIn, but I'm not sure on the website, ConnectedAgent.biz.
Okay.
But we've been sending out a follow-up email with the YouTube channel connected to it, so they have all of them that we've ever had.
Sure. Just wanted to make it clear that they're not going to find them if they go to connectedagent.biz, but we are following up with an email. And definitely join us on the LinkedIn group, and we have the URL posted there as well.
Okay, so the key thing with this is go to our LinkedIn group for Connected Agent. If you're not already a part of it, ask to be a part. You'll be approved right away. Then you can get out there and find that stuff out there. So I apologize for the misdirection. That was me. So,
Excellent.
all right. Anything else out there that we can help anybody out with? Trying to help the FedEx guy at the same time. Okay. We're good to go. All right. YouTube. What can we do to integrate YouTube with what we've got going on out there? Or is that a question to tackle offline, Aaron, if you think that would be better?
Well, there's two parts to the answer, and I'll just kind of touch on them briefly. The first is that it's really pretty straightforward to embed YouTube videos into your website, onto your web pages. And if you need any help doing that, if there's a video you want to add to a page, then just give us a call and we'll walk you through the process to do that. The other side is creating videos, and you can create content on YouTube yourself, and it's something that is a little more work to do, but I think it's a great strategy to kind of break through the screen and develop more of a relationship with people, and also to get yourself found. And what you could do is use the webcam on your computer, or use your cell phone, or it doesn't have to be really any kind of fancy equipment. But just record yourself talking about, answering a question that you hear prospects ask you all the time. And you don't need to worry about trying to come off like you're a professional actor or a professional spokesperson. You want to come off as being somebody who's really genuine and authentic, and just be yourself and record 2 or 3 minute long videos where you answer questions people ask you, and then put those on YouTube. And that can be a great new source of exposure for yourself and your business to do. Something I recommend doing highly if anybody has an interest in that. It's really worthwhile. It's worth the time, and it will definitely pay off to develop your own content that you put on YouTube.
Very good. Good point.
And on just to add on the other side, the flip note of that, there's some other great content on YouTube. So if you just want to get your toe wet first, you can go into YouTube and just go in the search bar and search for, obviously we've probably all done this and other things, but search for long-term care insurance or critical illness insurance, and you'll come across a few videos for sure. Make sure that you look for one that doesn't end up with another agency's name at the end. That's as generic as you can get it. There are a few great ones out there. I'm sure there's a CI one that we posted to the AIM, I believe was pushed out to AIM producers probably a month or so ago. You remember that one, Mike?
Yes.
That we came upon. And I noticed, I just posted one of the 3 and 4 Facebook page a week ago. It's a Kiplinger video on long-term care. So it's really vanilla, talks about everything that you guys talk about long-term care insurance, but it's coming from a great credible source. It's not ending with any specific agent or agency or carrier's name at the end. So it's a great video that you could use on your site. And I'll push that back to Mike, and he can push it back out to everyone that's done the call. But that's another way to get video going for yourself. The best, I agree with exactly what Aaron said, being yourself, getting out there, letting people hear you, see you, and hear firsthand you have the knowledge. And it's some of those videos that aren't so perfect in a studio that people find more engaging and help build trust.
Perfect. And I just realized that one of our agents has had great success with the program, was able to join us a little bit into the call. So I want to see if she's got anything to offer up. Bonnie, you're out there, I know, and I just unmuted you. Tell us what you've been doing with the website. Welcome back, and tell us what you've been doing with the website.
Well, I have been incorporating my website. Well, I've set up a schedule for myself of putting some little thing out on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I've made reminders to myself because I'm not used to doing this sort of thing, and so I've made reminders to myself to go check. And so Fridays is my day that I go check Google Analytics. And like last week, I was out on vacation with my kids, and so nothing happened. So this Friday, when I go look, it's going to be flatlined. But when I do put something out, it's amazing how many clicks there are. And then I've also, for the last 6 months, been doing a newsletter. And that has also been interesting. I've been gathering up email addresses of everyone I know, and I really only had a few people unsubscribe. The majority of I've got like 500 names or so, and I'm finding ways to add names all the time. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll request if it's okay for me to add somebody, and people do. They go look at your website and they go check out, because in my newsletter there's references to the website all the time. And then I also am offering something free. I offer people a free report or something like that. And so, they're all little teeny tiny things, but they all start adding up. So.
Thanks for that, Bonnie. And just to reiterate, the things that you heard, the touch points you heard Bonnie hitting on there are things that we've been talking about now for nearly a year with folks in the program. The consistency of doing things, okay? Putting things out there that aren't necessarily, all about your agenda all the time, okay? The newsletter, all these different, among many other things. I mean, the biggest thing is that Bonnie's checking regularly. She understands the correlation between activity on her end and activity on the client end. And this is what we've been trying to stress. And it seems as though, based on what we're asking for feedback, what we're hearing, or the impression that we're being given, is that not much of that is going on. So just keep these things in mind as we move along. It's difficult for us to be able. We can't do it for you. We don't want to control the websites. We shouldn't control the websites, but that's the key to making something happen. We've talked about it before. You'll hear us talk about it again as well. So anyway, thanks for that, Bonnie, very much. Mm-hmm. Anybody else with anything out there that you want us to take a look at as far as learning? We've had some stuff that we passed offline that are very specific narrowband things. Our folks will be reaching out to the folks that have asked those questions here today. We're trying to keep them more down the middle of the road, so you will get some feedback and some follow-up on questions if we didn't bring them out here in front of everybody else. So with that said, is there anything else that we want to cover on this call? We will get the different emails that Aaron had as part of his presentation. We'll get those sent out to you here within 24 hours or so. Again, a reminder, the next call will be September 10th. As always, second Wednesday of the month. New bat time, same bat channel, that new bat time, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So I don't have anybody holding up a hand or any late-running questions. So with that, I think we'll call it a day. This will be archived and available to you off the LinkedIn group thing within probably a couple of hours. Travis is our specialist there. He'll get to that and get that taken care of. So, Aaron, you got anything we want to close out with?
No, I don't. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thanks all of you. Thanks to all of you for making your time available and joining us. We're always here. The team is available to answer any questions you'll have on a day-to-day basis, and we will look to, if not sooner, we'll look to chat with everybody again on September 10th. Thanks, folks.